Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world, for tonight, the third round of the Elite Racing League Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. And I'm sure this one is going to be a very exciting and wild one. I'm Zach Evans, joined in the booth by defending Elite Cup Series champion Gerald Campbell once again. They let us come back up here after Daytona. I don't know if that was a good or bad decision on their part, but here we are, Gerald, ready to bring the fans another exciting night of racing here in Elite.
Yeah, well, they let me back in last week, or last time we raced. They just didn't let you. But yeah, I begged them, and they let you back, I guess. But yeah, no, we're back here at first time here with Knoxville in the Truck Series. So interesting. I'm kind of predicting that this is gonna probably play out just like it did in real life with the trucks, and I don't know if that's necessarily gonna be a good thing. But we're gonna be here through it all and find out if that's going to be something that we're going to come back to want to watch again, or if it's going to be something that we just kind of leave at the door.
Well, it's definitely going to be a unique event, especially this season. There won't be a cup event on the dirt like there was last season, so this is going to be your one chance to see these elite drivers leave the pavement and take on the dirt. And of course, we will have a special format tonight. We'll take a look at that real quick for the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals. Right now, they're qualifying to set the starting lineups for what we hope will be 4 heat races. Of course, iRacing, always a mind of its own. That could change. No matter what the number is, they will be 10 laps each. The top 10 from each of these heat races will advance to the feature, as well as receive bonus points in lieu of the stage points, since there will be no stages in tonight's feature. If necessary, we will have a 10-lap B main, and then after that, 100 laps. For the feature, there will be the top 10 finishers receiving bonus points at the halfway mark of the feature as well, like I say, to make up for the lack of stage breaks in tonight's event. But 100 laps, ultimately 43 truck maximum starting field for that 100 lap feature, Gerald.
Yeah. Qualifying is going to be necessary, but what's going to be most necessary is going to be the heat races, and then just trying to find hopefully a way to get to the front, because again, 40 cars make the field, 43 actually, and that's a lot of trucks here all at one time. And from what everyone's telling me, it's a very, very tight course. So yeah, qualifying is going to be important, but just surviving the heat races and making sure that you're up front for those and getting yourself hopefully a clean start for the feature tonight is going to be what's on everyone's mind coming into this.
And one thing that these drivers are going to have to deal with throughout the night, especially over the course of that 100-lap feature, that's a long race in dirt terms. Right now, the track, pretty tacky. Still has a lot of moisture in it. That's going to go away very quickly as we go through the evening. This track's got to get slick. It's going to get worn out. You're going to see drivers moving around, trying to find speed anywhere they can here on this flat half mile. Gerald, I don't know how much dirt experience you have, outside of maybe the couple of times we've run it here in Elite, but what is that challenge like when you're behind the wheel?
I prefer this asphalt, but at the end of the race, it's just going to be kind of like a wet asphalt, where it's just not a lot of grip, and there's just not much you can do with a throttle other than just try to barely hit it with an eggshell, essentially. It's very grippy in the beginning, but at the end of these races, you're going to see a lot of comers and goers. The guys that are really good with being able to put down the throttle, and then you're going to see the dirt specialists, the dirt masters, the ones that are essentially just the easiest on the throttle and just know how to be able to apply just the right amount of speed to be able to get around these turns, because down the straightaways, there's not much in the way of anything. I mean, if we had engine packages, you would want to bring one of the weakest ones here, because there's no engine throttle time. It's all just pretty much just in the hands of the driver. So it's a very interesting time. We're going to see if some of these guys that were maybe back farther in points, maybe they're looking at this as a race that maybe they have a chance to get a one-up on some of those asphalt specialists, some of those asphalt drivers that have been in iRacing for a long time, that maybe don't have the dirt specialties, as you could say, as they would in asphalt. So we're gonna see I believe a lot of drivers that we haven't seen up front for most of these asphalt races.
For sure, and we see the first heat race rolling off here. Hunter Smith was fastest in qualifying. He will start on the pole for the first heat race. Cole Duggar lined up second, Alec Baldwin's in third, Sean Judson fourth, Jared Rexing fifth. Ryan Barbieri, he won the elite truck race on the dirt at Bristol last season. He starts sixth, Tom Bourne seventh, Michael Hosick eighth, Mark Keeler ninth, Brent Jones 10th, Corey Abbott 11th, Dylan Jones 12th. It looks like by having 12 trucks in this heat race, I do believe iRacing has decided in its infinite wisdom to trim us down to 3 heat races. So that will slightly adjust the running order of tonight's program, but still the top 10 from this heat race will receive bonus points and transfer to the main event.
Yeah, I mean, one of those guys you just stated right there. You've got Hunter Smith. I mean, he's back down at 25th in points. So, I mean, again, one of those that maybe this is just his type of forte, and hopefully he can be able to punch his way into the playoffs tonight. So we'll see as they get ready to go green here.
Here we go. There is the green flag to start the first heat race of the night. Hunter Smith jumping out front, and it's going to be... I'll admit, I'm a little thrown off. We've got Cole Duggar listed in the 05 on the ticker, but that's definitely 11 on the door of that white and purple truck, so we'll try not to screw that up too much tonight. He's running second with Alec Baldwin's in third as we wrap up the first lap.
Yeah, very clean start. You see a couple guys maybe just tapping the wall a little bit, but I think maybe some of them are just kind of just playing it safe here, just trying to get a feel for it. Again, a lot of these guys maybe don't have the dirt experience, and maybe this is a good chance for them. You know, if they damage the truck for the heat race, oh well. You get into the A main, you get a whole new truck essentially with iRacing here. So, you know, this is time to experiment with some of them. But again, a lot of them are wanting that, as you see up front, just that good track position. So we'll see if you know, this is the most grippiest the track will be all night. So we'll see. Yeah, if it gets any slicker, we'll see some moving around some more here.
Right, I do think right now it's going to be a hunt for the bottom, and one tricky thing in particular with Knoxville is we see Alec almost catch the wall there in the 5 coming off the corner there, but in Knoxville there's a little bit of a raised berm right there on the inside. You can see it really well in the corners, so you see all that track surface off to the left, but really you can't go much below that berm without really risking upsetting the control of the trucks going through the corners here at Knoxville. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Not so much now, pretty cleared track, but once we get 43 of these trucks out here, it's gonna make for some real dicey moments, I think.
Yeah, and the sprint cars, you can see these cars going around, you know, high, low, all over the place to get them run down the straightaways, mainly because they can be able to put down the throttle a lot more. It's a lot harder to pass in these trucks, so you're going to see a lot more single file, and you're going to have that hump to the bottom, because if you go up high, these turns are, it's not like Eldora, what we're used to normally in trucks. You know, the Eldora, the turns are nice and wide. You want to get up right next to that fence. Early on, we might see something different later on, but early on, it's just that bottom right there. I think that berm has, it's going to be where the grip is at. You know, the 10 cars, definitely, you can see with that battle between the 10 and the 5 with Alec. Alec's going a little higher line, and the 10 just can wrap it. And just as he did right there,
yep,
just has the grip, and that's what you fight for. That's the speed for the how do you get around here.
Just that quickly it can change, and now, so Jared Rexing moves up to 3rd. Alec Baldwin's falls back to 4th.
Yeah, only 2 more laps left in the heat race. So yeah, Alex is in 4th. And, the person that man of the hour so far, or at least his 15 minutes of fame so far, is going to be that number 15. So yeah, he like I said, back in 25th in points. This is exactly what he was needing for this playoff hunt.
Definitely you want those valuable playoff points. 12 drivers ultimately earning a spot into the chase after the 8-race regular season here in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Definitely something we'll be keeping an eye on throughout the season. right now continues to be Hunter Smith leading the way over Cole Duggar, looking to get the most of those bonus points as we wind down to laps in heat number 1.
Well, if I would have put money on it, I would have lost. This is a lot cleaner of a race than I was expecting. I was not. I was starting to learn, like, names and stats and everything, because I thought we were going to have so many cautions that I wasn't going to be able to have time to actually commentate any kind of the action. As you see the 15 take the checker flag here. Fantastic start of this race. Is it 20 laps or is it 10 laps?
10 laps are the heat races. Hunter Smith taking the win in the first one, followed by Cole Duggar, Jared Rexing, Alec Ballvans, Ryan Barbieri, Sean Judson, Tom Bourne, Corey Abbott, Michael Hosick, Mark Keeler, rounding out the top 10. Brent Jones and Dylan Jones, 11th and 12th. Now we're going to see heat race number 2 lining up as we work our way through the field.
A house, or they just show a random house. I don't know what that house is or anything at this track. Maybe that's the pay house. That's where you get your money.
Yes, definitely always interesting to check out the scenery. On a lot of detail goes into the surroundings on these tracks here on iRacing. So definitely very cool to see all of that. Before we jump into heat race number 2, let's get a quick word from one of our premier sponsors here at Elite. Welcome back. Thank you to Response Energy for jumping on board, one of the newest partners here in the Elite Racing Leagues. As we get ready for heat race number 2, Tate Lytle will lead them to green. Scott Bidinger, Thomas Sherman, Tyler Fody, Chad Thornquist, Dustin Dewar, Harrison Talon, Sam Boutwell, Kyle Walgren, Alex Gray, and Ryan Schold is scheduled to be in this heat race. As it stands right now, the ticker is still showing him into pits. I don't know if that means he was unable to join in time, or if we've lost him to the internet demons, or what the case may be, but hopefully he'll be able to join us shortly, or if not now, for the feature.
Yeah, he's still in the lobby, so I'm not sure. Maybe he just he was expecting more cautions than the first heat, like I was, and he's busy caught up doing something else. But yeah, he's still supposed to be here. But the GC second place driver, again, another driver with a different number to what's supposed to be on there. So not a lot of people are giving us easy time up here, I don't think.
No, I think it's definitely going to be interesting and a little bit of a challenge at times to keep up with everything going on here with the proceedings tonight. But we will do our best, as now the green flag is out and we are back underway, starting off heat race number 2 here at the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals. Tate Lytle out front, Scott Bidinger on the outside, and my camera has had a stroke, so that's good. That's good. This is all fine. This is all according to plan. I'm not exactly sure. Did we lose Tate? Nope, Tate's still there, so I cannot blame a drop on that. That was cool. Cool and neat from the technology.
Well, at least the racing is good. At least
yes.
The racing is going up tonight. As you see, I mean, a lot more grooves being shown lately in this heat. So I don't know again if they've got it set to where the if it transfers over to the next heat. But I'm thinking some of the grip is going away. As you're seeing a lot more slipping and sliding, a lot more different grooves. And one thing about this heat to note is that there's a lot of big name drivers in here. This not to say anything against the first heat, but this heat here has a lot of drivers that I know is very fast. The 40 is getting underneath the 069, and he's looking like he's going to be able to complete the pass into the bottom, but having a good battle there.
Tyler Fody on the inside, Scott Bidinger on the outside. That is a battle for second. And definitely Fody has the preferred line here. He's making it work to the best of his ability right now, and you can see Chad Thornquist as well. He's got to try to... Oh! Definitely tried to make sure he squeezed his way through the door while it was open. I think Scott Bidinger had other ideas, but they've managed to straighten it out and keep going. So no harm, no foul, but definitely an intense battle for that third spot.
Yeah, sometimes if your truck don't turn, the other truck can help you. So I think that was a case there. He's moved up through the field though. His starting position, I believe, was back in like 6, I believe. So he's moving up through the field. He looks like to be one of the top drivers to advance his position so far in the night. But the 40 car is definitely looking stout, catching up to Tate Lytle, the pole qualifier for this heat race.
We'll see if that battle closes in a little bit more. We might have a battle for the big bonus points here, but as it stands, actually we see Tyler working his way up the track there in that black number 40. He might be trying to experiment a little bit and see if he can find something up there a couple lanes higher than where the rest of the field is mostly running right now.
Yeah, the thing with dirt, it's so interesting. I mean, you see why Kyle Larson's so good at what he does. I mean, he experiments every lap and tries something different, because in dirt, if everyone does the same move, the same entry, the same everything, the track just, I don't know, it just doesn't like it in dirt. It just goes away real quickly, and sometimes just going in a lane that no one else is driving. And unfortunately with dirt, everyone sees when someone makes a gain and immediately copies what they do. So as you see, Tate, he saw what the 40 was doing and is trying to work his way up there to hopefully stop that progress that Fody is making on that top side and make his day a little harder, I guess you would say.
He definitely right there knocking on the door for Tate Lytle as they're going to be coming to the white flag here to wrap up the second heat race of the evening. It's only one bonus point between the two spots, but I'm sure they both want to be able to, if nothing else, you want to be able to start on the front row for the feature.
Yeah, I don't know if either one of these guys are really thinking about points. Both of them are not, I don't believe, running for the championship. Fody definitely not as a previous champion. But either way, it's a good starting position for the feature.
Indeed, it is. Tate Lytle picking up the win in heat race number 2 and then going for a celebratory spin, as one does. It looks like a couple others will join him. There's Harrison Talon just hanging out. So yeah, exciting conclusion after the checkered flag to our second heat. Oh, okay. All right. Even some more.
Well, that was after the fact, but still, for
we're having a good time.
Yeah, most part, this has been a lot cleaner.
Yes.
This might blow by. I might need to tell my wife not to cancel dinner. I might be able to get this done early tonight, I think, because they're doing great so far.
That's the spirit. I like where your head's at right now.
Well, after Daytona, where we saw the majority of trucks not finish, and then we went to Darlington, where the carnage ensued. Was not thinking that dirt was going to be where the drivers would start to learn their patience. To say the least, I was fairly certain that it was all out the window as driver. You know, it is an eight race championship for the regular season to get yourself locked in. So I'm seeing a lot of people in points that are just real far back there, just due to Daytona being what it was and Darlington being more carnage than what was previously thought to be of. But I honestly thought dirt here, people were gonna go, well, if I make that turn, like we saw with the 92, if that outside door of another truck can help you turn a little easier. So again, it's not over. I'm counting chickens and eggs and whatever the thing is, but very, very proud of these guys so far tonight, showing patience even more than what real life did in the at trucks at Knoxville.
Ooh, yes, and let's hope we don't get a repeat of that. Anyway, third heat race, getting ready to go. Sean Ryan, Scott Crump, Shane Terrian, Josh Robin, Bronson Stafford, Michael Goodman, Bischoff Kozla, Kendall Noah player, Brandon Key, William Harrington, Tyler Dixon. How they line up for the third heat race of the night here at Knoxville. So, pace truck pulls off. We're underway. Sean Ryan with a really good jump, and boy, I feel like I'm back at Daytona again. Look at all those black and green trucks all hanging out together.
I'm pretty sure they probably wish they weren't all in the same heat, because they probably want to leave the battling into the feature here. But we're seeing both our previous winners, both Scott Crump and the 38. I believe he won at Daytona. So we're seeing a bunch of the guys here.
Or actually, it was Tom Bourne in
Tom
the
Bourne, 31. Yes. I'm so sorry, 31. So we're seeing obviously a lot of green and black out here.
Yes. So Sean Ryan out to a healthy lead already. Then we have Shane Terrian followed by Scott Crump, who actually isn't in that stable, but also rocking the black and green, so that's not confusing at all.
No, not at all.
Josh Robin now fourth, and then Michael Goodman hanging out in P5, and do want to give a call to old Goody here, because he's had a busy weekend. I know he's been talking about moving a lot this weekend, so at least we're glad that he was able to find some time to get away from the chores and hassle, not hustle, although there's been plenty of that, I'm sure, of moving to squeeze in a race with the truck boys tonight.
Yeah, I'm just hoping he's in a better place, because Packers for him, and he's a big Packers fan. Packers didn't have a great night, so I'm hoping he's in a better place. I don't think he could be going off of a worse probably day than what he's had to do today. So he's so far running very smoothly. He's found himself in a pocket where there's no one around him, so just kind of concentrate on what you have to do essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my football team won, so that was good. Go Panthers. Doesn't matter that we were playing the Jets. All right. Oh, we've got contact. Oh, no.
Yes, we got Scott Crump, and he's going to come up the racetrack. Looks like they're going to be able to keep going, but caution is going to come out for, 38. Got spun around.
And I can't. I mean, it wasn't a huge hit, but it was pretty flush on the right rear. I wonder if it might not have hurt the steering of that truck. It definitely looks like it's crab walking a little bit here. That's definitely a really unfortunate sight to see there in this heat race. We'll see if we can squeeze in a replay really quick and try to show exactly what happened here before we go back green. And there you see Scott Crump. He really got that truck turned really well to the bottom. Terrian kind of took more of a diamond line, and they just met in the middle. It's hard for me.
Yeah, to be fair with Scott Crump there, the 38 washed up and came down, and there's not like a way to brake in these trucks on dirt.
No.
You skid essentially.
Exactly.
And so I honestly, I mean, it was contact there. I don't really know if I can blame a lot of that on Scott there. I don't really blame 38 either. It was just one of those racing deals where it's hard to control these trucks, and we're starting to see now where the grip is starting to go away from the racetrack, and that's what ends up happening. You start sliding and having to try to catch the truck, and unfortunately, if there's someone right behind you and they're already in that line, we saw that big berm. It's pretty much essentially a wall. There's not really a way to turn down lower. It's just going to shoot you back up the racetrack.
For sure. I think probably in the case of Terrian in the 38, it probably caught him by surprise more than anything that Scott Crump in the 90 was able to get such a good run on the bottom there. I mean, he was going upstairs for a reason. He was hunting for grip. But Scott found plenty of it on the bottom to get in a position where then when Shane went to diamond the corner and get back to the bottom, obviously the 90 was there. Unfortunate, but hey, at least if you have to have something like that happen, heat race, it hurts your starting spot for the feature, but no harm, no foul in terms of the title hunt just yet.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like I said, 90's locked in. 38 is still pretty good on points, but we're seeing a new guy up there. We got Josh Robin, and he's making a heck of a run on the outside to get to his outside. And we're going to go side by side down the back straightaway.
Down the back stretch, Josh Robin with the run. charging into turn 3. Is he going to be able to make it stick out of 4? If so, I think he's going to have a good shot of taking the lead. Coming to the white flag, still side by side. We're going to have a battle for the win here in the third heat race.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing our first pass for the actual lead so far tonight. So very good start by Josh Robin there.
And he definitely pulls about a half truck length advantage down the backstretch, but he's got to make it stick for one more corner. Sean Ryan trying to get some bite there on the bottom. Here they come to the line. Sean Ryan clears Josh Robin, coming to the flag stand. He's going to take the win in a thriller for heat race number 3.
I just need to stop talking because I keep saying something's going to happen and it doesn't happen. So not our first pass for the lead, but first challenge, real challenge for the lead for sure. So, like I said, that was a good run. Hopefully that shows kind of what maybe tonight can offer as the track starts to lose some of its grip. We might see some lanes that maybe different from the bottom and allow drivers to essentially go where they need to complete a pass.
Well, it looks like business is definitely about to pick up because there will not be a B main, it would appear. We're going straight to feature racing here. Got a big old lineup of trucks. We're going to take a look here and see. I don't think... Nope, that lineup I think is right, actually. So here we go. Hunter Smith on the pole, Tate Lytle 2nd, Sean Ryan 3rd, Cole Duggar 4th, Scott Bidinger 5th, Scott Crump 6th, Alec Balvan 7th, Thomas Sherman in 8th. Then in 9th you're going to have... come on, there we go. Shane Terrian, Sean Judson, Tyler Fody, Josh Robin. Actually, that looks like qualifying results, doesn't it? I don't think that is right. Darn you, technology.
Again, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We got 100 laps. We'll see if we see on the racetrack, and hopefully it's going straight.
Hopefully it is going straight. And so we're going to try to get a... Boy. This is an adventure right now.
Well, they're launching the fireworks now.
The fireworks are going off. And I'm trying really hard to make this starting grid graphic go away, and it doesn't want to. Which doesn't help. That's also, I'm pretty sure, not even the right starting grid. But anyway.
One of the guys that we saw that had some speed at the end of the third heat is having to start at the rear, I guess from banner problems. But we're going to have some fast guys, obviously, now going and having to charge up through the back. The question is, with this large of a field and only 100 laps to get it done in, again, it's not the easiest thing to do, but we'll make progress here, and we'll just keep up to date and see how far Josh Robin can be able to get up by the end of the night.
So the pace truck pulls off, and we are underway, and I think we saw some problems there already further back in the field, but it looks like we're going to stay green, maybe?
Do you still have your qualifying map? There it goes.
There it goes, finally. It took a lot of stuff with it, so we've lost timing and scoring temporarily, but we're going to get that back for you shortly as we watch the... oh, that's super good. That's good stuff right there. We're going to get you back underway here with this broadcast, I promise. Tate Lytle battling for the top spot.
Yeah, you got Tate Lytle, you got the 15 up there. Fody's catching up onto the back of the 9. And, yeah, so far, very clean start for the race. Maybe a little bumping and banging towards the back, but 3 wide here. Very interesting to see how they get through the turns.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely getting a lot more antsy throughout the field as we get this race properly underway. Hey, look what I found. There we go.
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
We do have a caution.
We do have a caution. Perfect timing. I might even be able to get a replay of this caution if we can figure out who it was.
I believe we have a car backwards, and that is, unfortunately, Josh Robin.
Oh, after such a strong run for him in the...
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get a replay here now that I have functional technology and all that good stuff.
And the unfortunate side of that, from just having to be put to the back and having to be back there with people that maybe are having more of a difficult time with it, unfortunately.
Let's see what we've got here. He's working the bottom underneath William Harrington to 66 there. It looks like maybe Kyle Walgren up against the wall. A little slow. They come together. A couple more piled in. Yeah, just kind of all ran out of real estate together there. And that was pretty much all she wrote. Ooh. Oh, that was the pace truck. Sorry.
Yeah, the pace truck has some speed.
It sure did. And so there we will see Josh Robin bringing his pickup truck to pit road for attention. Unfortunately, a rough start to his night after looking so promising in the heat races. But that is how she goes, unfortunately.
I believe we're lining back up to go green this time, actually.
Yep, double file lined up for the restart. Hunter Smith leading the way, Tate Lytle in second, Sean Ryan third, Tyler Fode in fourth, Cole Duggar in fifth. Pace truck is off. We're back underway. Already
3 wide.
Yep.
Already 3 wide.
Already fanning out 2-3 wide. I think we're going to have to go back to that wide camera to really show all of the action. Because let me tell you, this is what makes dirt track racing, searching high, low, wherever to try and find grip, traction, anything to get around this half mile, especially with Knoxville being so flat. You don't have any banking to lean on whatsoever. Oh, we've got trouble. Trouble further back.
Back up the racetrack. Oh, Andy. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we got some collection.
Oh, yeah, there's more. That's Scott Crump. There's Harrison Talon. I hear more crashing. Is that, let's see, that's Brent Jones. Unfortunately, I saw a shout out for him in chat. The owl has got a little bit of a squished beak at the moment, it would appear. So that, definitely not the start to his.
Owl population for sure.
No.
Absolutely.
No, so we're going to see if we can cook up a replay here and figure out.
Unfortunately, it was one of those situations where I think it was starting to go 4 wide, and that's not going to work. And a lot of people just slid up, and unfortunately, it looks like the 90 and the 10 probably got some of the worst damages from that. Jared Rexing and Scott Crump.
So working on getting the replay up here for you. And do I not? There we go. All right. So let's see here. Looking from high above, we saw some of that 3 wide action. Sean Ryan, a little bit of contact there. Then a little bit of a move to the bottom of the track. Jared Rexing ends up in the infield. And then that's when we start to see everybody really pile in. As you mentioned, Scott Crump coming back up the track. Unfortunately, that looked like pretty terminal damage for the 07 there of Michael Hosick. We saw that telltale smoke from the front of that truck, unfortunately. So I have a feeling he's in for some lengthy repairs at this point. But definitely a lot of trucks tangled up in that one. And just as quickly as we were able to get you that replay, we're already lining up to go back green flag racing here. So let's get you back to the live action as we get this race restarted. Tate Lytle, Tyler Fode on the front row this time. And it's Lytle getting the jump and taking the lead into turn number 1.
Yeah, Chad Thornquist has been doing very good on these restarts, doing these very dive-bombing kind of thing going into the turn, and so far making it stick, and just kind of getting the positions. That's how he's got himself up to 4th, and just challenging there with the 11 for a while there. So a very good start for him.
Definitely a good start. Right now, we're looking at the battle for 4th and 5th. Actually, I guess about as soon as I say that, Chad Thornquist is able to get a little bit of distance on Sean Ryan in that battle. So he'll settle into the 4th position. Sean Ryan still trying to make that bottom work. It looks like most of the field has worked its way up. And you can even see here where the track is really starting to darken up as we now focus on the battle for the lead between Tate Lytle and Tyler Foy. But you can see where the track is much darker, where some of that moisture has been used up in the lower line, and most of the field is starting to work into that lighter brown to try and find a little bit more grip, as we're now about 15 laps into this main event.
Yeah, now you're starting to see people starting to slide up. I think the bottom's just been kind of used, and the top seems to be the only way that people will be able to get some, at least a little bit of throttle down. So how far do they go? Are they going to, I mean, so far, the person that's been going the highest has been Cole. Cole has been right up against the barrier there, which I was surprised, honestly. I thought this was not going to be a track that you could be able to get up that high. I've raced this racetrack a couple times with dirt cars, but even them, they had a hard time with getting it right up against the fence. But so far, he's got a different line and having to search for something.
And now it looks like Tyler Fody's going to take an exploratory dive to the bottom. Slide job.
Yeah.
Job. Finally got to drop that one and pull our best Dale Jr. impression, but Fody opens the door back for Lytle to return the favor in turn number 3. Now we're getting into some proper dirt track racing, slide jobs and crossovers and dive bombs and all kinds of fun stuff.
It works until it doesn't. It's how it goes. It works until the guy is able to stick to your side, and that's what Tate Lytle does there. Did a fantastic job to be able to at least have enough speed to stay to the outside the 40, and essentially make the 40 check up in a sense. But you'll see sometimes that move just doesn't work, just for the mere fact that again, you send it in. There's not really a way to stop it from sending easily. And there's been plenty of times where I've sent it and I go, all right, yeah. But 2 seconds before you make contact, you already know you did something wrong, and you know there's just nothing you can do. So sometimes it's just caution to the wind whenever you throw it in there, and sometimes you just hope that the guy's not there. But very good dirt tracking moves from both these guys up front.
It kind of settled down there after a few laps. Those few laps did allow Cole Duggar to close right up and looked like he was going to insert himself in that battle, but then it kind of settled back down. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Tate Lytle leading, Tyler Fody in second, Cole Duggar in third. It looks like Chad Thornquist has got to try to challenge Mr. Duggar for the third spot now. Got a nice little run off of turn 2 in the number 92 Chevy Silverado, so we'll see if he can't try to pick up a spot here on Cole Duggar.
Well, where this gets interesting, they are starting to steadily creep up to the back of the field here, and that's when it becomes interesting to see where the leaders can do, because when the leaders are up front, that's kind of like the easiest time you'll have on the track. It's just being out front, because you can kind of predict what you're going to do. But when you have lap cars, as you see, I mean, they are catching right up onto the back of them, trying to predict what they're going to do whenever they don't even know what they're going to do. That's where it becomes interesting. As this is what I'm talking
there
about.
You go, and that's really tight there for Tate Lytle as they're working around. I believe that was Alex Gray, pretty much bouncing off the outside wall here at Knoxville, but they have managed to do just that, get around the 81 truck, and then it's going to be on to the next one on the lap traffic list, but definitely a little bit of a sketchy moment there.
Yeah, you're going to have two different drivers going to this track. Ones that have been looking forward to it, and the other ones that can't wait to watch the truck off and forget about it. So you're going to have a mixture of talents on this track. Again, some of these guys maybe have never done dirt, and unfortunately, it will show.
and I feel like we kind of went over this with our Daytona broadcast, but I feel like this is a good point to a good point in the program to also, kind of like we'd mentioned in that broadcast, the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Whoa! Well, Tyler Fody isn't interested in my story time. He's got a challenge for the lead here. Once again, though, that slide job opening the door for Tate Lytle to cut back to the bottom. Lytle back to the lead as we start working lap 25, and we're going to go back to throwing some slide jobs.
Yeah, again, last thing you want to do is to end up like the Formula One race earlier today, where Verstappen and Hamilton into each other was on top of one another. But yeah, so far, and that time, I think Fody was able to complete the pass on it.
That one got a little tight for sure, but Fody now in the top spot, and we see creeping into the picture. At the very least, we see the aid of Josh Robin. Tate Lytle going back to the bottom. Looks like another one of those lap trucks is Kyle Walgren into 36. We're going to be 3 wide coming off turn 4. Little bit of contact. And then we got a lap truck on the bottom.
Oh, big.
We're actually wrecking. Oh.
And we got the 9 spun around involved in it. That was a blockage.
Yeah,
that was an absolute blockage.
It looked like some of the back markers there had come together just before the leaders got to them, and we'll see if we can't figure out exactly what unfolded there to bring out the caution. Obviously, we gotta work quickly because we know how to brief the cautions have been here. It looks like this may start somewhere in the neighborhood of...
it was around with Kendall Noah player was involved, and I think he's down pit road as well. That's going to put a lot of guys that were back there, and a couple of the front runners were unfortunately unable to find a way to get around it.
Here, the 17 and 51 had come together. They're still kind of correcting it. Mark Keeler gets involved. There's Kendall Noah player, as you mentioned. Tyler Dixon was in that 54. And there's your leaders coming in. There's the 9 truck. So, really, just
Ryan didn't know where to go.
Unfortunately, it got really messy really quickly for all those trucks, especially right in front of the leaders, but hopefully not too much damage to the 9. It looks like he has been able to at least maintain the...
and people are going to be like, well, why don't they just stop? Why don't they stop? Why are they piling into it? Imagine this. You're running on a slip and slide. Why didn't you just stop? You'll quickly realize when you try to stop on a slip and slide, your butt comes around, and that's essentially what ends up happening there. It's just unfortunately it was in the middle of the turn, and unless if you saw it way in advance, there's no stopping. There's just unfortunate sliding, and unfortunately there it did get like you said, a couple of the front runners.
Fortunately, I do think the caution had come out before the leaders got there, so Sean Ryan, as long as he's not too battered and bruised, he has been able to maintain his position in the running order. He's restarting, I believe, 6th. So as long as that truck's still in proper running order, he's going to have a shot to continue onward in this race as we're back underway. Tate Lytle leading the way. Tyler Fody under threat from Cole Duggar for that 2nd spot, and Chad Thornquist as well, actually.
Yeah, that was a very, very slick move there. Very well played. We're now going to have a 3-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, this is going to get really exciting here. Fody really trying to get that bottom, that extreme bottom, about as low as you can get. I mean, he's even trying to use that berm we talked about in the heat races to his advantage and help use that to make the truck rotate a little bit, as we see Chad Thornquist almost collect the wall off turn 2 there. So they're...
I think that Turnquist just decided that he didn't need that door anymore, because I think that's purposely. He's found speed, and unfortunately it's at the cost of paint and sheet metal. So
if we're considering Kyle Larson strats at this point.
considering Beyblades at this point. It's just kind of ramp off the wall, bang off of it, and just keep going, essentially. So it's working until
it doesn't. We're gonna, if nothing else from our Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series broadcast this season, I want us to get the Gerald Campbell merchandising line with "It works until it doesn't." What do you think? Can we make that happen?
Again, it works until it doesn't. So we can try it. So, I mean, it's just it's the best way to not put any blame on yourself. So if there's ever a way to do that, that's what I'm game for.
Oh man! So right now we've got a little bit of a train at the front of the field. Tate Lytle, Cole Duggar, Tyler Fody, Chad Thornquist. They've opened up a healthy little gap, about a half second or so, on Sean Ryan in 5th. But these 4 trucks are all under a blanket.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's one of those things where, big
slide job
on. That works perfectly. But Tate's been practicing how to do the switchover, and has played out very well. So he doesn't mind it as long as you get a nice healthy clearing in front of him. Yeah, that's one of those things where it works until it doesn't right there. So
they're still driving good.
Into the wall. Yeah, I mean, this is where you bring your big bumpers. You know, you know that you're not going to have a clean truck at the end of the night. It's what it is with dirt. You know that you're going to have beating and banging. There's just no way to get around it.
And that all allowed Chad Thornquist to jump up to 3rd, but now Cole Duggar seems to want to have a word about that, but he can't make it stick. He's going to actually find himself under pressure from Sean Ryan now. Boy, this has been a lot of action. All up at the front of the field. I can't even. I mean, we'd love to show more of the racing throughout the pack, but you hate to even look away from what we've got going on up right here.
I've gone through the back, and it's kind of spread out.
In the wall.
So, a lot of these guys at the back are just trying to survive, and by the end of the night, hopefully, to be up here where all the action's coming on. But yeah, so far, I mean, our biggest action right now has been up at the front, except for on restarts back there. It's just kind of mayhem. So we're showing the civil side of everything.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Is right now, it looks like we're gonna be closing in on lap traffic here in short order. Tate Lytle is there actually. You see him working around.
We have another caution.
Alex Gray and Sam Boutwell. Yes, the caution
in the middle of the turn. Will they see him? Will they miss him? There's a car in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Or 3 and 4.
Okay. Well, yep. There he goes. Let's see here if we can't get that. Oh, would you believe it? Our Daytona winner involved in this caution.
Beautiful paint scheme, if anything is said.
Let's see here. Take a look at what happened here. The Tom Bourne into 31 truck.
I tell you what, though, he did the most gentlemanly thing that you could do. He didn't compound the issue for anybody else.
He had help.
Yeah, he did have help. But right here is where a lot of drivers just lose their cool and gas to try to beat the leader back around. He sacrificed to get a lap down just to make sure that he didn't ruin anyone else's night. So, top of the hat to the 31 there for at least not making anyone else's night any worse. But definitely not what he was wanting for the night.
Definitely not what he wanted for the night. But fortunately, he does have the win back at Daytona to fall back on. He's locked into the chase here in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. We do want to take this quick moment to thank one of our premier partners here in the Elite Racing League, C2 Freight Resources. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They are ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more. So thank you to C2 Freight Resources for their support of the Elite Racing Leagues as we're getting ready to go back green. Man, these cautions, they do not take long here at Knoxville.
No, it's a short track. It just takes a long time to get around with dirt. But yeah, it's pretty quick as we're, unfortunately for Fody, he's going to be on the bottom again, which is not the preferred line.
Not the preferred line, but we are underway. Tate Lytle getting the jump. Once again, we're going to see a 3-wide battle for that second spot. Oh, a little bit of contact there is a... Boy, look at the run Cole Duggar was able to get to jump into second there.
Yeah, that's the key, that outside for restarts there. And they're all going to glance up there. One guy that's doing a fantastic job there is Alec. Alec Baldwin is doing a fantastic job tonight in dirt. I wouldn't necessarily pick him as a dirt driver, but doing fantastic.
No, he's having a really good run in that number 5 truck. Sean Ryan definitely getting the worst of that little shuffle off of turn 4. It looks like he's fallen to probably about 7th or 8th, and now he's in quite the skirmish there with Shane Terrian into 38, and Sean Judson's there on his inside into 19. That's not gonna work, but it did.
Oh. Wow, I think that's just because Shane backed out of it there. He's been around too much tonight, so he kind of, as you can see from the damage here and there, has had a rough time getting back up to the front. So I'm pretty sure he just wants to make sure he doesn't have to do it all over again.
And somehow a sad Chad Thornquist. Oh, Thornquist sideways. He's gonna hang on to it, but he did get a helpful, a good sized little helping of that 19 truck to help straighten him out from Sean Judson. He's definitely still got a wheel full there, though. He's hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, he's going over jumps and everything on the Chad for Chad. Unfortunately, drivers are not nice, and when you have a mistake or an issue on track, there's no taking your breath because the next guy wants to take advantage of it. And he has been in 3 wide about every time he comes out of the turn, and is unfortunately just eating or just chucking up positions. He's just going back right now. So I think he's just trying to find a place where he can take a breath at this point.
We do want to jump quickly to the lead because we're close. This will be lap 50. Remember, since we do not have the stage breaks for tonight's event like we normally do in the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series, this is the one shot we'll see who will get some bonus points for running into top 10. Right now it is Tate Lytle leading the way. It looks like he's going to be the halfway leader as he bounces it off the wall in 3 and 4. And he's going to be the leader here after 50 laps, and it's going to be Cole Duggar, Tyler Fody, Alec Baldwin, Sean Ryan, Shane Terrian, Thomas Sherman, Ryan Barbieri, Sean Judson, and Jared Rexing. Chad Turnquist has fallen all the way to 12th. He went from being one of the front runners all the way through the first half of this feature to not even getting those halfway points. Really unfortunate couple of laps there for the driver of the 92.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Duggar, I believe, is a ringer. I don't think he's ran in the regular season. I think he's just one of those drivers that saw dirt on a schedule for someone and decided he wanted to play Steeler. And right now, I mean, he's been up there, but Tate Lytle has just been the man right now. He's just been undetermined or unopposed to make sure he's out front. So
I can't help but laugh every time these guys just clobber it off the wall trying to get around these tracks. I mean, you know this track is super slick right now. It's really hard to find any grip whatsoever. But it does even look like, you know, it's not even sometimes you worry about exploits, right? Like wall riding as a hack almost. This isn't that. They're just straight up sliding all the way into the wall and bouncing off of it and trying to get going again.
I said it earlier. It's easier to think of it if you just think of these. They're driving Beyblades right now. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, they're bouncing off the edges and going all over the place. But I mean, if it's the fast way, drivers are going to always go with whatever's the fastest way, no matter if that is against the wall or whatnot. But I mean, right now, great battle for second place with Fody and Cole. So far, it's working out. I mean, they're doing the side jobs. It's when one doesn't quite clear the other where we see the issues.
I hesitate to even say this, and I promise I won't go to an onboard camera here to really drive the nail in, but especially after some of the racing we saw at Darlington, and especially in the Cup Series this season, it's pretty nice to see a relatively clean event here in the Elite Truck Series.
Yeah, I mean, I was taken back. These guys are doing a fantastic job. We're seeing the normal hit and spin on the dirt, but I mean, this is kind of what real life was wanting to be. Is very good, clean dirt racing where it's nice and spread out. You're seeing these dive bomb moves. And I think, honestly, what's helping the best of it is it's a high groove track right now. If this was all on the bottom, where everyone was fighting for the bottom, I think we might be seeing more turnarounds. But so far, it's been clean and green for a little while here.
Definitely a relatively clean Knoxville Tilson Truck Nationals here. Do want to quick? Well,
for the leaders again.
Oh, I'm sure that will bring out a caution. There it is, I believe, and we'll get the replay up. I unfortunately believe you are correct. That did look rather owl-like in appearance. I was always told that, you know, owls were nocturnal, that this time of night should be beneficial to them. That has not seemed to be the case for Mr. Jones.
I'm just thinking of that lollipop commercials. How many licks is that truck going to take until it's in the garage?
Ooh. So let's take a look to see what happened here to Mr. Jones in the 89. Washed up a little. You could tell, I believe that was the 7 truck that ended up behind him. The 7 truck, of course.
Yeah, Corey
Abbott. But I think Corey did all he could to avoid getting into Brent Jones, but just didn't really have anywhere to go.
Well, luckily enough, I don't think it did him any damage. He's going to lose a lap here, but what that does do is it kind of resets it where the leaders were coming up on some heavy traffic, and they got past all the ones that were damaged and relatively slow, and they were starting to get into the ones that were racing their line. So it kind of gives a breather. I don't know if the leaders are really upset that they're going to get another restart. I think Fody is, because he's going to be back on the bottom, and he'd rather be anywhere than the bottom right now. But I don't really see Tate Lytle being nice to him and giving him the choice. So as you see, Tate Lytle is opting for the high side, and I think the 11 is going to be on the bottom, and Alex is going to be in 4th row. I think the 4th row is really, if you're not first, who's going to be 4th really is the preference.
We'll see how they go about it on this restart. Again, want to take a quick moment, very quick moment, thanking our premier partner here in the Elite Racing League's Blue Egg Marketing, the marketing department for small businesses. Thank you, Blue Egg Marketing, for your support of Elite Racing League as we get ready to go back green. Coming to start lap 62. As expected, Tyler Fody struggling on that bottom line. Tate Lytle to the point, and Cole Duggar's got to try to make something happen. Fody went around.
And is he going to get collected with anybody?
Yes.
Oh,
Goodman
yes.
got a piece of him. Now, unfortunately for Fody here, he's off the racing surface on the bottom, but there's the pace truck, so the caution did come out. Oh, I see there's more. It was not just Fody. So we're going to take a quick look at the replay here to try and get an idea exactly what happened after we lost sight.
Yeah, I think Goodman did something Green Bay couldn't do all day, and that was or Green Bay defense, and that was a good hit on an opposing team. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for both top runner with Fody and Goodman, who is just having a decent night tonight.
All right, so let's take a look at the from the chopper cam. We're gonna see Tyler Fody go off into the corner. Alec Baldwin's is gonna get a piece of him there. He's gotta get turned around, and it's all well and good till Michael Goodman gets a piece right there. And then behind, you're going to see a couple more jump in. There's Corey Abbott into 7. Oh, hey, there's Harrison Talon joining in the fun. And he might have actually got... Nope, I think he was able to free himself. He avoided getting beached there, I do believe. So, yeah, that's
I don't believe the cautions are done for the night.
no, we
It's
might
kind
be
of
in
one of those.
cautions breed cautions territory if we're not careful.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where if you lost your fender, it's like, you know what? I wasn't going for a 0x night anyhow. So then it becomes just a beat and bang to the end. So hopefully that's not the case, but we do have some new drivers up front that we haven't had all night. We're going to have Thomas Sherman in the one car, going to be right on the fourth spot again, where I suspect you would want to be if you weren't starting first.
Boy, oh boy. Just good old short track racing. Let's squeeze in a quick ad from our newest partner here, Response Energy, and then we'll be back for the restart here at Knoxville.
You need to fast forward.
Uh, Here we go at Knoxville. Tate Lytle leading the way. And it's a driver's meeting into turn one wall there, but we all keep it going.
Oh,
no, we're not. No, we're not. I spoke too soon.
It was, again, one of the situations where a driver got a little bit too sideways and tried catching it, and unfortunately, everyone else behind them was not on that same strategy. And it kind of was just a accumulation of trucks coming out of the turn.
So let's see if I can... Where I think... Right about here. Yep, there's where I'm looking for. Alright. So let's check this out. We'll go once again to the eye in the sky to watch how this all unfolded. And we got one in the wall, that's Sean Ryan. And then he comes back down the track, collects a couple of trucks, and then, oh, a couple of the back markers couldn't quite squeeze by. So that's how we made the sausage for that caution.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but we do have a couple trucks that collected it a little farther down the road from them. But yeah, like I said, if there was a track that you would want to have damage on, it'd probably be this track because, again, you're just not getting on the throttle as much. So if you do have damage or engine damage, you may not have the same detriment to the speed of the truck as you would at a normal asphalt track where you're doing throttle time a little bit more. Here, we're going to have a little bit more of lenience with essentially what the throttle is going to do or engine damage is going to do to you.
Doubled up for another restart here. We'll see, got about 30 laps to go here in the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals.
The question is any truck not going to hit the outside wall going into turn one?
I'm not optimistic. I'm not optimistic.
I think they've all realized that wall is too good to let go, essentially. And Thornquist has been on the wall and has learned how to make the speed up there as he just rockets his way up to second, passes Thomas.
I mean, let's give a mention to Thomas Sherman. That's not a name we've spoken about a lot tonight, but he's worked his way into the top 5 here. Well.
Yeah, you need to stop talking about my teammates. About
well.
Every time you talk, oh, they're just piling up into that turn.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put that on my TikTok tonight.
You did that to me at Daytona. You took out Robin.
Yep.
And then you talked about Thomas, and then you took him out.
Yeah.
You owe me some money.
Yeah, well, my people will be in touch with your people. That's
just not what any of my guys wanted for the night. Thomas was having a rough time at Daytona and a rough time at Darlington being taken out early, and this is not what he wanted to have happen.
And then, of course, we mentioned how everybody was running the top, so now you just put about half dozen trucks there, and poor
the
Jared
preferred
Rexing
line-
ends up on his side there. There's ripping the fence, but you don't want to literally be leaned up against the fence. So that's not what you want.
No, you might as just leave them up there and just go ahead and put a for sale sign for scrap metal, because that was a lot of torn up trucks, and that stinks for Jared Rexing. He was tied with Scott Crump going into tonight with for the regular season runnings right now, and that's not going to help him. Is being upside down. You know, the trucks might be able to survive some things, but they are not able to turn themselves back around. So when they're upside down or on the side, that's the end of it.
That is the end of it. We do want to take this quick moment, and I think so many people that make this all happen with Elite Racing Leagues. One sponsor I know we've been talking about a lot lately, Tilson, sponsoring tonight's Tilson Knoxville Trucks Nationals, as well as most of the Throwback Week at Darlington. Tilson is a leading professional employer organization that provides a comprehensive workforce management solution so businesses can focus on their business. More time you can spend focusing on what you need to do with your business. Let Tilson handle the rest. That's one of the cool things about announcing, Gerald, is while these guys are all wrecking into turns 3 and 4, we let them handle that, and we just sit here and talk about it. I like that mindset, so I'm all about some Tilson.
Yeah, I don't leave the night angry. So,
there is that.
Unfortunately, in these truck races as of late, there are a lot of people going home angry. Guy we got up there again is Shane, and man, Thornquist, if he could get 3 and 4 down at like he does 1 and 2, he'd be a challenge for the lead going in on these restarts, and we've already got to pile up.
Oh well, let's see if we can't see what brought out our latest caution.
And there was Mark Keeler back there.
Alrighty. Yep, it looks like it was again in turns 1 and 2, which is not a shocker at this point.
And another driver, Harrison Talon, we haven't talked much about. Unfortunately, was involved in that as well.
It looks like it starts somewhere in the neighborhood of our good friend here at the Elite Racing Network, Rish Kozla. Checks up just a little bit, gets sideways, a little bit of contact. Now he's in the middle of the track. There's yeah, there's Harry, there's Mark. There's how those names you mentioned ended up in the middle of that.
Yeah, Rish has had an up and down night. Still has a truck, unbelievably, but he has been around a couple times tonight, and I think he probably got one of the best out of that whole wreck. I was surprised he wasn't T-boned going up and down the track there, but he survives to keep going. Again, I don't think there's a driver so far through, except for Tate Lytle, that has not been involved in at least one thing or another on this track so far.
I don't think anybody was expecting to come out of here with 4 clean sides at Knoxville. Which is funny, because, you think of Knoxville, you think of sprint cars. If you make so much as a slight touch in those cars, you end up flipping over the fence here at Knoxville. But a little bit different with the pickup trucks.
Yeah, those guys still know how to beat and bang. It's just that they I don't think they rely on the wall to help them turn. Even though I've seen Kyle Larson do that a couple times. As we go back to green again, it's just to see who uses that wall to help turn. Cole looks like he's going to be the first to try it out.
Oh, Shane Terrian got a whole bunch of curb there on the inside, but he kept it pointed in the right direction. And now it's going to be Cole Duggar trying his hand at the bump. Contact!
Yeah!
Contact!
Yeah, that's a slide that I saw coming, and I'm pretty sure he knew was coming for a while.
Man.
And we got another one.
Oh, are we slowing once again?
Yep, unfortunately another caution seems to have just occurred.
Alright, well, it looks like the slow truck I'm looking at now belongs to William Harrington. But no, don't think he was in it, though.
I would like to do an onboard for one of these restarts, just so people can see just how, just the volume of when you can listen to when the engine cuts off and when the driver lets off, to how much sliding and waiting to be able to pick it back up. I think that's, especially this late into the run with how much slide, I would like on this next restart here, we might be able to just listen into that. Maybe with one of the guys' third or fourth line back, and you can just.
Well, I'll let you. I'll let you pick, so okay. I don't get blamed.
We'll pick the unlucky driver here. Let's see. Let's do Shane Therian. He's been a driver that's been pretty cautious and been very good about giving and taking. I feel like if anyone's going to survive the next thing, he's going to be in fourth, and he's a good one to experience an onboard with for this restart that's coming up.
All right, so Shane Therian restarting outside row 2. We're going to climb on board his Toyota Tundra. If anything bad happens, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Well, I just want everyone to hear just the amount of off-throttle time that you'll have with just how much sliding. And then about the time he gets to the wall is about the time that he'll probably pick up the gas. And again, it's not full throttle by any means, but we'll go ahead and let you hear it. Yeah, as you see, I mean, that outside line, and then there is a pile up behind him, but it's not with him. So
well, there we go.
Is not with him, but that's exactly what these guys are experiencing going into this turn. It's just how much, sliding that's involved, and it really is kind of out of your control. So even though we're going to see some pileups, it's just what you get when you put a stock car on a dirt track.
I think even I mean, I've done a few of these races. I ran the Bristol race here last season, but even I was a little surprised to hear they aren't even close to hitting the chip on these things. Very smooth, very little throttle, just trying to baby this thing around the track as slick as the track is right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, again, it's not the speed. Again, you can have engine issues, and I'm sure some of these guys in the back have engines issues, as, with all the damage and the carnage that has ensued so far tonight. And to be honest with you, you're not going to see them too awfully off the pace just for the mere fact that they're not using the engine that much. But a driver that's getting challenged right now, Tate Lytle, he's been dominant for most of the race, and I don't know if he's running out of tricks to be able to stay up front, but we're going to see as the laps go down, the desperation to clear for the lead and be the leader and having the preferred line is going to be more and more precedent, more something that it's going to be on the mind of the guy running in second at the time.
Definitely, Cole Duggar starting to apply some pressure to Tate Lytle as we close in on 10 laps to go here in the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, and it definitely looks like we're going to have a really exciting battle. And let me tell you, if they get running side-by-side or throwing sliders, I don't think it'll be long before Shane Therian inserts himself into the battle as well. As there we see the move from Cole Duggar. He gets a little bit of a bump from Tate Lytle. Lytle's going to go to the bottom and try his hand at the slide job now.
Yeah, this is where Tate has not really been too often at. He's in second, having to try to work the bottom. He's been able to do the slide jobs and be able to clear the driver by the next turn. This is the first time he's actually been the person trying to have to figure out how to get around the leader. So very good move by Cole. Again, one of those guys that I believe is just a dirt ringer, showing that just staying up the front of the race and figuring to just be there at the end when it's the most slipperiest is just kind of what he's done all night.
I almost wonder if it was a bit calculated on Duggar's part. So many of the guys, when they've made that move on Tate, they've gone all the way to the fence. He kind of stuck right in the middle and kind of took away that lane that Lytle had been working into to pull that crossover. I wonder if that wasn't something he had picked up on from following Tate all these laps to take that lane away from him as he was making the move.
I mean, there's only one way to try.
Oh, God. Well, that just brings him right back into the thick of things. A whole bunch of wall there in turn 1 and 2 for Cole Duggar, and just like that.
Yeah, it looked like he hit peanut butter. It just kind of came to a stop there. I brought Tate Lytle right back up to him. So I'm not sure how he hit that, but he doesn't need to be doing that for sure. So still up front, but he's definitely going to have to refigure out turn 1 and 2.
And now a whole head of steam for Tate Lytle. Here comes his slide job inbound. Opens up the crossover from Cole Duggar. He's got to try to retake the lead. Couldn't quite clear him on the backstretch, but I think he might have it here in 3 and 4. Yes, he does.
Yeah, Tate got a little bit too much of the wall there to really be able to capitalize, but he's going to have a head of steam coming into turn 1. See if, no.
Duggar protecting the bottom. Does not leave the door open for that dive bomb to the inside.
Oh, and Tate is loose. He's actually going to lose second place over this Shane. Tate, all of a sudden, trying to have to do something that he hasn't done all night, learn how to pass. And I don't know if it was a detriment to him to be leading the whole race, because he's never had to really figure out any of this stuff. He's only had to run his own line, and when someone's running your line, what do you do? And I don't think he's had to worry about that.
And I think part of it, too, is, I mean, now we've got, close to 100 laps on this track. It's just, I mean, we've talked about how slick it is all night, but it only gets worse with each lap. So I'm sure part of it is just simply the track has changed in a way that no longer allows Tate to carry the same speed he's been carrying all night, and he's having just a little bit of trouble adjusting.
Well, they are catching up on a ton of lap cars. A ton of lap cars. And that might be what Tate needs, because I think he's too far back to catch him normally. And these lap
Duggar's in the fence there, but it looks like he's still going to have the lead. They're trying to work around Alex Gray in that boy. Well, if he's able to keep going, yes, Alex Gray was able to keep going. Now we've got a side-by-side battle for second that kind of resulted from that, though. Shane Terrian has it. And Tate Lytle wants it. Never mind.
Oh, see who's going to get to start second, who's going to start third. So the only thing worse than starting second is being in third, because we've already seen that inside line not work out. It looks like Tate's going to be the one that is going to be in third. I think it was Fody.
Fody?
Back there. Yeah, I believe it was Fody.
Very well could have been. Let's see.
And he's opting to. Fody's the one raising his hand, saying it was on him. So.
Oh, yep, he got a piece of the 92 of Chad Thernquist, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a shame for the Chad. He was having a decent night tonight, He's, to be honest with you, he was looking for the points lead, honestly. He was running third in points going in tonight, only 3 points back, and was having a heck of a night and was able to stay up front, even with, all the issues they had in that little middle part there. So, that's not good to have right at the end of the race, that's for sure.
No, and there you'll see that's where the contact comes in, and that sends Thernquist around. Honestly, he did a pretty good job of getting it back going again. Probably didn't even lose too many spots.
I think like 4 or 5, maybe. But what that did do is Scott Crump is up to 4th, our points leader, going into the night, and looks to extend that points lead he's got, as we're going to be coming to green here.
Coming to green, and it's going to be a shootout. Green-white checkered.
3 green-white checkers if needed. Hopefully we can get it by with 1, but the 11 had a fantastic jump on the start there.
Here we go, 2-lap shootout to see who's going to win the Knoxville Tilson Truck Nationals. Shane Terrian trying to make the bottom work. Really probably the best challenge
We
we've
are
seen. Oh,
piling up the back there again.
I don't think we're going to get the white flag here. We will
We
see. If they take the white flag, the next flag will end it.
Well, we are on the white flag.
White
lap,
flag. So here we go. Cole Duggar leading the way with 1 lap to go. Shane Terrian, Scott Crump.
Tate Lytle around and Shane around both got into each other, and now it's just the 11.
Oh, Dustin Dewar hard into the wall, but up front, it's going to be Cole Duggar. Clean sailing.
Yeah, he didn't even have to be able to push the throttle turns around 3 and 4 there to be able to finish out front. He, fortunately, his competitors behind him made that an easy decision for him what line to take in turns 3 and 4, and he got a fantastic win tonight.
Fantastic win for Cole Duggar. He's going to win the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals. The fireworks go off. The trucks continue to pile into each other. But all the same, he's the winner of the 3rd race of the 2021B Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. And it's going to be celebration time for Mr. Duggar.
Go back and watch that wreck, because that took out a lot of the front runners there.
We'll see if we can't take a look and see exactly what transpired there behind Duggar on the final lap there. So here we go. It looks like a little bit, that's where Lytle goes around, and actually we're going to not see a whole lot of it from this angle, but there's where you can see definitely where the field starts to pile in. Dustin Dewar's defying gravity, which is pretty cool. Kyle Walgren almost goes around there. Yeah. Needless to say, it turned into quite the chain reaction. It just kept going. Actually, there's another hard hit for the Owl. Harrison Talon, I think he still hasn't lifted. Sam Boutwell trying to squeeze his way through. At this point, Shane Terrian's truck has given up the ghost. A lot of no good, very bad things happened there.
It was interesting all the way down to the end, that was for sure. So, yeah, we want to bring in a few of those guys. Our top 3 was very different than what we were expecting. Even though you jinxed them, my team driver Tom Sherman got 3rd and Scott Crump got 2nd. So definitely with those stack ups there at the end, changed the finishing order for sure.
For sure, and let's see if we can't start grabbing a couple of those interviews, shall we? Let's see. We will start with, I guess, probably this is 3rd place. If I can, oh my. I'm really struggling with the technology tonight, it must be said. So, let's do this. There we go. 3rd place finisher tonight in a wild one at Knoxville, Thomas Sherman. Thomas, what did you see there on that green-white checkered restart?
A lot of calamity. Everybody was, going all over the place. I didn't expect to come, after I had the crash, I didn't expect at all to come back and finish 3rd. Had a lot of engine damage, and it seemed to actually help because I can rip the bottom and just go almost full throttle and just to pass everybody. I don't know how. I'm glad to be in 3rd place.
Well, you did a fantastic, Thomas. So it was mentioned to you earlier on the race. You got up there and then unfortunately had that incident where it put you into the wall, where we saw a huge pile up going up into there. Was that just kind of how the thing was? You just couldn't avoid the wrecks. It was just one of those, if you saw the wreck, you had to be pretty far back behind to avoid it, because it looked like people just couldn't stop their trucks in time to avoid anything.
It was definitely tough to avoid the wrecks. I mean, I had got clipped a few times, but overall I managed to miss most of them that I've seen. I was behind quite a few of them. But that one was just a 3-wide situation, and in that kind of case, there's no way to avoid it. And I thought I was actually done after that wreck, because I had just gotten into that huge pile up, and then somehow the car was still able to run. I didn't blow up, and it actually helped me.
Well, no, you did fantastic. You didn't give up or anything, so that's exactly what you needed to do tonight, because you had a tough time at Daytona, and you had very difficult run there, early ending at Darlington. So to come home top 3 is probably what you were hoping for. Does this help with your run trying to get in? It's an 8 race, and the schedule is pretty difficult with Bristol coming up and Iowa. I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to Iowa more than anything. Is this kind of what you needed really to try to hope for anything going into a very short regular season, going into a playoff?
Yeah, at the very, if I didn't get a good race here, I knew that I was probably gonna be out of the, playoffs. But then, with this, and then hopefully I can string together a couple more good races. Um, who knows what would happen.
Yeah, well, fantastic run again. Do you want to do any shout outs for your team? I know your owner would like that for sure. So, do
Yeah.
you want to do some shout outs and anything else you want to put out on at the end? Go ahead.
Gotta thank Flat Out Racing Network for the sponsor on the car. To thank Aggressive Eagle, of course. To thank Josh Personette. To thank everyone as part of the team.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Thomas, again, good job not giving up there, and good top 3. Hopefully, you can take that on into Bristol, and I know you're one of those top runners for Iowa. So I definitely look forward to probably seeing you up in the top 3 for Iowa. And I've already told Zach he's not allowed to do any onboards of our team because that's exactly what ended up happening with you, and the same thing that will happen to my other team drivers. So hopefully you have some good runs there in the future.
Yep, no onboards. Thank you.
And that is Thomas Sherman, your 3rd place finisher tonight. Now we will go to 2nd place. Of course, coming up in the runner-up spot tonight, Scott Crump. Scott, definitely a wild one tonight at Knoxville. Had some highs and lows. Ultimately, though, you come away with the runner-up finish, 1 race removed from that win at Darlington in that beautiful throwback you had, I must say. What's it like to come out of this one with a 2nd place finish?
Pretty exciting. I mean, it was crazy. Definitely right there at the end. It definitely got crazy. I was getting banged everywhere. So I don't know how I held on, got 2nd, but we did.
Scott, I had a question for you. We saw the wall being just physically abused to the point where I think they're gonna have to replace it at the end of the night. What was the advantage of just hitting that wall? Was there a certain way to hit that wall? Because we saw some drivers, it would just absolutely stop them, like they were hitting peanut butter, and others they just hit it just right and was able to launch. Was there a known way to get around there? Because it just looked like everyone figured it out at the same time that was kind of what you had to do.
I really don't know because I didn't hit the wall. I hit everything else but the wall. Every time I hit the wall, like in practice or whatever, it just felt like it just sucked you in. You lost speed, so I didn't see any advantage unless you slightly touch it.
Oh, well, at least you're admitting to some clean driving in that. At least your crew members. I know you probably had quite a bit of damage on there, and a lot of people did it at the end there. So, obviously, you're gonna leave out of here. You're tied with Rexing with the points lead. You're gonna leave out of here with a very good points lead going into it because a lot of drivers there just had some issues. So, is your main goal now? Are you going to go towards points driving to get the final season for the regular season championship, get the points that way, or is your goal to do like Scott Crump does and go hard and try to go for the wins?
Yeah, I'm going to win every race. Well, I'm going to try to do. So, if gets the points championship, that's fine with me. If I don't, I guess we'll try again next time.
That'll make it interesting for us. If you want to, you can go ahead and do some shout outs and thank yous if you like.
I'd like to give thanks to my sponsor, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Thanks to Tyler Dixon Design for the paint job. Also, White Lightning Racing got a P2, so hopefully get another win for him next week. I'm not sure where we're at. Where are we at next week?
Iowa? No.
Is Iowa or Bristol?
Texas, actually. I guess the schedule got updated. Yeah, Texas.
All right. Well, it should be pretty strong there. We're usually pretty good at mile and a half tracks, so as long as we stay out of trouble, we'll be up there.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott. Congratulations on a second place run. There again, Scott Crump coming away with the second place finish, and of course that just leaves one man left to talk to tonight. That is your winner, Cole Duggar, picking up the victory. Cole, congratulations on scoring the win in the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals. First, of course, gotta ask you, after watching Tate Lytle lead so much of this race, you were able to make the move, make it stick, get the lead for good there late in the race. What did it take to set up that pass and hold on to the top spot?
I don't know, man. That was a really tough pass. When you throw it in deep, it's really hard to keep momentum coming off the corners. It's really tough. I felt really advantaged starting in fourth. Leader gets lane choice when leader starts outside, and you get to start outside with the leader. Starting in fourth was a huge advantage over starting in third. I think that really had a big role in the factor there.
No, absolutely. We were noticing that all night, that outside lane was where it was meant to be at. But the last few runs there, you were running the bottom. Was it just trying to make sure that Tate had no way of being able to do a slide job, or were you trying to find grip down there, or trying to do something? Because the groove all night was on the outside, but there late in the run, you were definitely preferring the bottom, I guess, in a defensive way.
Yeah, absolutely. There, I think the fastest line really was like a high entry and then kind of cutting down, but naturally that leaves the door wide open, and so I started running the bottom and letting it slide to the outside real late off of 2 and 4. There's still a little bit of good stuff up in the corner, so yeah, mostly defensive line there for sure, and just happened to pull away a little bit, and then it was, able to get the win on the last nearly green-white checker there. So that's what you have to do, kind of run a defensive line for sure.
Yeah, no, fantastic run there at the end. Now we saw, obviously, some drivers will admit to it, some drivers won't, but obviously hitting the wall was a key factor for some speed, especially if you're trying to make a passing move. Was there a thought to was there like a lap, or was it like a waiting point to when to use it so you don't tear up the truck? Or were the trucks so durable that it didn't really matter? You could just use it whenever you needed to.
I'd say the trucks are pretty durable for sure, but that only goes so far. I mean, if your truck's too beat up, you're not really going to be able to go anywhere, but you really can't get the right front tire over the outside cushion there. That's a problem. If you get the right front tire outside the cushion, you're going to get the whole car in the wall, and if you can manage to keep just the right rear up there, and even if you get a little loose, you can straighten it up and come off the corner, but that high line, it's always there here at Knoxville, especially on entry.
All right. Well, Cole, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to for your win?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to thank Drew Hopkins Racing. Joined them recently. It's my first interview in a broadcasted race since joining Drew Hopkins Race about a month or two ago. And I got to thank all their sponsors for sure. Keltner Contracting, Newton's Homemade Ice Cream, Bighorn Taxidermy, Big Al's Guns, Invasion Gaming, Base Racing Fuel, Oil, special couple names out there I got to throw out there. Drew for sure, Joey, Scott, Sean, all those guys help practice, do my paint, so can't thank those guys enough. And shout out to ABR Setup Shop when I'm running other dirt stuff, run their stuff too. And I'm sure I'm missing some people out there, but I appreciate you guys on the broadcast too.
Well, we definitely appreciate you running with us, and congratulations again on the win, Cole.
Thank you.
All right, that's Cole Duggar, your winner here.
With all those sponsors, he should have won.
Boy,
a lot of sponsors he had for the race. Like I said, he's just a dirt expert and kind of showed why he is. That was a fantastic run for him tonight, and overall, very pleased with how the race was with these trucks. It was a little, beating banging near the end there, but it was kind of to be expected. But the beginning part was very clean, and luckily we had a green flag there at the end to at least finish it up.
we're going to try if the old software will actually cooperate with me. We saw how the starting grid went, so fingers crossed here. But do want to try to go through a quick full field rundown before we go off the air, since we didn't do that before we started our podium interviews. Of course, Cole Duggar picking up the win, Scott Crump finishing second, Thomas Sherman third. You heard from all of those drivers in our interviews. here tonight. Chad Thernquist 4th, Scott Bidinger 5th, Ryan Barbieri 6th, Alec Baldwin 7th, Brandon Key 8th, Tate Lytle 9th, and Rish Kozla, after an up and down night to say the least, coming away with a top 10 finish, coming home 10th. Dylan Jones 11th, Shane Terrian 12th, Brent Jones 13th, William Harrington 14th, Sam Boutwell 15th, Kyle Walgren 16th, Tyler Fody, unfortunately, coming home 17th, Kendall Noah Player 18th, Dustin Dewar 19th, Jared Rexing 20th. Sean Ryan finished 21st after looking so strong in the early going. Unfortunately, he fell by the wayside during the course of this 100-lap main event. Behind him, Tyler Dixon, Hunter Smith, Corey Abbott, Alex Gray, Michael Goodman, Sean Judson, Mark Keeler, Harrison Talon, Tom Bourne, Josh Robin, Michael Hosick, Bronson Stafford, and Ryan Schold. He was with us at some point tonight, but never did see him turn a lap, I don't think, either in the heat race or the feature, unfortunately. So he'll be scored last place out of 34 trucks tonight at the Tilson Knoxville Truck Nationals.
Ryan might be the only truck that didn't get involved into a wreck.
Well, he definitely gets the 0X for the night, so that he's got that going for him, which is nice. But with that, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight here from Knoxville. Definitely an exciting one. Next time we see you with the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series will be in just a week, 2 weeks actually. We get next week off, but September 26th will be the Memory Lanes 175 at Texas. Then we'll go to Bristol, the Chicago Street Circuit, Charlotte, and Iowa to round out the regular season here in the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Of course, that's not all of the Elite action we have this week here on the Elite Racing Network. Tune in tomorrow night, and you'll see the Elite Racing League SMRI Productions Grand National Series take on the Nashville Super Speedway. I wish it were a short track since I'll be in that race, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm sure I'm the only one that thinks that. And the Cup Series this week, the Elite Join APS.com Cup Series, going to the Brickyard. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That event, of course, was supposed to take place last week, but with some of the issues with the new build on iRacing, that event was pushed to this week, which had originally been an off week. So no other changes to the season schedule, just Indy getting pushed back a week. That will for sure happen this Wednesday night. Be sure to tune in for that, and where Gerald will probably finish about 20 spots better than me.
I don't know. It's Brickyard. It's one of those things where it's a good run, and then all of a sudden you barely tap the wall, and there goes all your arrow. There you go to the back. So,
especially in this next gen car.
Oh yeah. So my main goal for that race is just don't hit the wall, please, for the love of me. Please don't hit the wall.
All right. So that wraps up tonight's broadcast here from Knoxville. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on the Elite Racing Network. Good night, everybody.